Hey everyone, Ivy Gaming here, and today we're playing Eternal Evolution. For today's video, I want to do a little bit of a healer comparison, testing out the heals between Botta here and our other single target healing monster of Serena. Is Botta a lot better, or does Serena surprise us? Let's take a look and find out. Alright, so there is still an event going on for Botta for quite a while. That's one thing I really like in this... Oop, let me go collect that. That's one thing I really like in this game is they actually do a very good job of letting the events stay for a while so everyone has a chance for their events to rotate. So like for me, pulling for Botta, I have an event going on right now. Some people might have military expansion, so you might be waiting for your military expansion to end before your recruitment starts, and then you're going to pull for Botta. Those are the decisions you have to make, but at least it always gives us a chance to have recruitment event open during every single banner for a new hero. So that's really nice. So we have Botta, right? Let's go take a look. So I actually did so many summons during... This is exactly what I wanted, actually. I did a lot of summons during the double chip event, so I had way more than needed, and this allowed me to buy some copies of her in the shop, which would be the equivalent of the same amount I would have spent to just pull on her banner anyway, but it's guaranteed copies. It's not like pulling 600 for Botta and failing, you know? At least I know for sure I'm getting her for that guaranteed mercy of 60 every time, right? Super nice. Or 80, 60. Yeah. Anyway. So I really like that. But the let's go pull up our girl. We have our new hero here in Botta. So first off, I am going to show you a couple comparisons that I do. So I want to give a little bit of an intro to this because I've never done like this sort of video before directly. I actually want to give a nod. If you didn't already know, I actually write articles for hellhades.com. Some of their Eternal Evolution articles are from me, so that may be the case for some of them if they feel familiar, or if you're like, doesn't Ivy have an exact video on that? It's probably, that's probably why. Or sometimes I might write an article for something that there's already a video from Hell Hades or whatnot, so it can be a mixture, but yeah, I do write articles for hellhades.com, and one of the members actually of HH Gaming asked me if they could give some input on some ideas, and one of their ideas was for me to compare Serena versus Botta. Now, I'm coming in here with a clean slate. I've seen zero conversation around Botta and Serena. I've seen zero other footage on her. I don't know what other content creators think of her. I don't know about their ideas. I'm coming at this with my own fresh mind and fresh perspective, with no other influence. I barely pay attention to Discord these days because I'm paying attention to my own personal Discord, not really keeping up with everything else. But in this case, I actually think that's a good thing. I don't really want to be clouded with an opinion of her already. I want to go in with my own first impressions and then my own testing and see what we think. So let's do that together, right? Let's talk Botta first. So on paper, the second I saw a new SSS healer, pretty much a single target healer, slightly AoE with one skill, but strong single target healer for a faction that's needed because Liren's not that great. So wonderful. All right, we already know she's going to be better than Liren. But SSS Hero in general, right? So personally, I also assume she's going to be better than Serena. She's a SSS Hero. So first off, you can know her base stats are going to be a little bit higher. I did check, and she does have higher base HP and base defense, as you'd expect from a SSS versus a non-SSS hero. Simple enough. Now, let's look into the skills. So she has a straight up, boom, just big heal. Let's see, healing a target ally. And then she pulls all the enemies toward that target ally. So that's kind of cool. It's like the opposite of some of them displace them away, and this one pulls them in. So you can choose, if you're manualing her, to purposefully pull her in, pull everyone into what? Like Bailey or Crete or Leo or someone be able to easily smash and do whatever you need them to do. That can be really helpful, especially if you're working with someone like Crete who does that big smash with the AoE decreased defense. Pulling some enemies in for him to do that would be really helpful. So that sounds like a very solid skill, a very solid ultimate, and a pretty big heal. I mean, 50% when the target is under 50% HP, 50% of her max HP. Sounds pretty good to me. And then with her common skill, she heals the lowest with the lowest HP. She also gets healed as well. Then she has an increased damage for all allies buff. That's solid. Like, any chance we can have like an increased attack or whatnot buff is going to be really helpful overall. It just says increase damage of all allies. This does not say like increase attack. So I'm assuming that it just literally means pure damage. So like it doesn't matter if they're a defense-based hero or an attack-based hero. I would assume that based on this wording, unless they need to change it, this means Crete, Leo, Bailey, anybody is going to increase all of their damage. But yeah, and the effect does not stack. But that's good. A solid buff to help be great support as well. I like it. And then her passive here is a shield. So this is nice. She summons a fountain in the back, casts a skill. When fully charged, the fountain provides a shield to the allied hero with the lowest HP, equal to 40% of max HP and 300 energy. This is weird confusion. That's shield equal to 300 energy plus what? That doesn't make sense. I think, does he mean and boost them by 300? I don't know what that means. That's a little bit weird wording. But anyway, shield is increased based on, of course, leveling up her talents and whatnot. But a shield added in here is just another thing to go great with our typical formation that we all love. And if you haven't seen much on it, you probably should take a look at like my Crete hero build video or something. But you know, that lovely combo with Gautier, with a pain rune and the flashpoint rune, she's going to be another element that can add another shield on someone that the pain rune could then explode and help you do more damage and also protect your team at the same time. So that the Gautier plus Pain Rune and Flashpoint is something that works with Assassins and Vanguard heroes. And that's just an extra way to pump out damage and have extra protection. So it's just it's a fun combo, and she's going to fit really well into that. So already her kit sounds great, and on paper, I think it sounds much better than Serena. So let's take a look at Serena. So my Serena is Immortal 5. And, oh wait, she's actually extraordinary. So she is extraordinary, but I have not leveled her up to the higher levels of hyper evolution yet. So she really has not benefited from extra stats. So you'll see, I built my Botta and my Serena almost identically. They're both in healing sets plus vigorous set. Slightly different defense, but the same HP. That's going to affect the healing more, so I want to make sure the HP was the same. Defense and damage reduction are a little bit swapped, but that's only going to affect a tiny bit of survivability versus, yeah, we really want to see the healing for this test. So when it comes to Serena, she has this kind of heal over time skill here. Single target unit with the lowest HP. So already her ultimate is worse, I would say, because it just heals the ally with the lowest HP. You don't get to choose who she's healing, it sounds like, unless you can on auto or manual, and I never noticed. But it sounds like this is just, it is what it is, right? And then this common heals a friendly unit with the lowest HP as well. Again, I heal over time. Like, is it better? I feel like it's better to have the one quick, big heal just instantly than versus the slow heal that goes over 3 seconds or whatever. Because you want that big burst. If someone's about to die, you want to quickly save them. So I feel like it's going to be a little bit better. Although this is nice. Serena becomes immune to CC during this time of using her ultimate. So at least she can't be like killed while she's in the middle of healing. That's pretty solid. Healing also causes damage equal to 70% of the healing to enemy units. So she has a little bit of damage thrown in with her heal. And then she has a pretty useless buff. This game, defense is not great, right? I mean, there's defense-based damage dealers, but you pretty much end up putting them in full HP gear and using them as a tank. aka our most of our Vanguard heroes. So this is not doing much. I'm sorry. I would much rather have Botta's buff to increase everybody's damage than Serena's buff to increase her or everyone's defense. So already I think extra support wise, Botta still sounds better. And then her talent here, ignore the triggering. All right. Another heal plus another one-off healing. Ally with lowest HP plus another, heal. So, I mean, we know Serena's a great healer. She can push you through content pretty well. But who actually pops off healing faster? And who can heal better? That's really what we want to see. Now, the obvious argument is because Serena is a non-SSS hero, and she's someone you can get very easily for free and dupes of and max her out. Like mine is 5, Immortal 5. My Botta is Immortal 0. Obviously, Serena's going to be easier to build, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still go. Just because you have a maxed out Serena does not mean you should not go for Botta if you have the ability to. Because if you can get Botta to Immortal soon, it's worth going for Botta as well, I think. She actually... I mean, when it comes to Twilight Lands, Arena, 3v3 Galactic, Summon Arena that's coming, which she's boosted for, we need more healers, and Lyran ain't cutting it. So let's just be happy with that. So I think on paper, it sounds like Serena should be a little less than Botta, right? But I know people are going to love on Serena, which everyone loves Serena for good reason. She's a strong hero for a non-SSS. But, yeah, I think at the end of the day, it sounds like Botta should be better. And she should be. Serena should not be better than a SSS hero. I hope she's not. But let's go do some testing, and then I'm going to come to the end. I'm going to cut out of this. I'm going to show you a couple tests, and then I'm going to come to the end with a bit of a conclusion of, did the data kind of reflect what we thought? All right, and I'm going to go ahead and talk over myself here. Please ignore the fact that I was talking in this video. We're going into campaign using both healers to see the healing differences. We are using the Flashpoint rune. And we have Botta in the top position, Serena at the bottom. We will go through and test afterward, but what I want to do here is just see how far, well, see the damage comparison. Who is popping off heals faster? Obviously, it seems like Botta is off to a quick lead. Who has the biggest impact on this fight? Who can recharge faster? It really seems like Botta is just going to excel here. I mean, she's, okay, 6 million to 4 million at this point. But I'm not sure if positioning is going to influence. Like, maybe if Serena's at the top, will she, for some reason, will she actually end up being prioritized in healing first before Botta? I don't think so, because it seems like Botta is just healing more often, and her heals are just a little bit bigger. But this is a good test here, 11.2 to whatever that was, 8. And then we're going to go ahead and switch. In case there's any effects of their positioning, I just wanted to do the same run, but with them in different positions here. So let's go ahead as well. Okay, so like Botta, Serena's catching up to Botta here. They're both ready at the same time. Their very first ultimate. But look how quick Botta is just recharging to go again. Rez is resetting Bailey, so that doesn't affect anything. Botta, so I think I am blocking her little statue thing she puts up in the back row, but that's alright. Didn't realize that till after the fact, of course. But again, going deep into the battle here, in this one, ironically, just almost double. We have double the damage, actually, from Botta to Serena at this point. Or double damage, sorry. Double the healing given out from Botta to Serena at this point as well. So first I wanted to do a battle or two using both of them together. And then we're going to go compare them separately but in the same position to see who pops off heals the best and fastest with a bit of a time comparison. So we're going to do that next. But looks like, again, another strong showing from Botta, 17 million in healing. Serena, 12. All right, now we're 18 and 12. And we'll let this pause in the final screen for a second to see, yep, 19 and 12, 13 at the very end. Now we're going to head into Disa Caves. You can see this was my 30-second comparison of Botta's damage, or sorry, healing. And then this was Serena. Serena's at 30 seconds into the battle, that's how much she healed. Now we have a 1 minute into the battle. She's healed for 11.8. And then 1 minute into the battle for Serena was 9.6. So it did kind of catch up in the end there, so maybe longer fights. But I think it's safe to say Botta is just a little bit stronger than Serena. And this, of course, is a Serena that is Immortal 5 versus a Botta that's Immortal 0. Both of them have exclusive level 20, by the way. Yeah, I think it's pretty clear, right, guys? I feel like Botta... the numbers show, right? The numbers show what the numbers show. We did some testing there, and it looks pretty good. Now, can we test in a ton of other areas? Yes. I actually also, besides testing, so this was the hard part. I was trying to test also on top of what I showed you. I was trying to test in campaign story mode to see if I was using Serena through certain points and I got stuck. If I replace Serena with Botta, then do I push through? And yes, I actually was able to do that at one point, but I realized I didn't record the right part, so unfortunately I wasn't able to show that. But I did go through, I can't remember exactly what wall I hit with campaign, with using Serena as the only healer in my typical comp for pushing my campaign, with slight variations, of course. But I did use Serena as the healer, got stuck, tried it multiple times on full auto, still stayed stuck, put Botta in, and got through. So I feel like that does show a little bit of just further evidence that Botta is going to be stronger, even at Immortal 0, compared to an Immortal 5 Serena. Are they pretty close? Yeah, it's not too bad. Just because you have Botta, are you going to bench your Serena? No, you're not. But yeah, I think it's kind of obvious at the end of the day. I think Botta just brings a little bit more to the table with her wonderful buff, like her aura for more damage for all allies, on top of her healing. And she has that sort of slight, what is it, AoE? Where is it? Which one is it? Allies within 3 meters. So this is like her passive kind of does some extra healing for like a heal over time, like Serena's skills. It's within a certain range, so that's nice as well. It's a little bit more, a little bit extra there on top of the buff for damage. So I think they're pretty good, and Serena's 100% still a solid hero. I think if anything, you're just gonna bench your Liren for Botta. I mean, Serena, Masrani, and Botta are going to be the heroes you'd use in Arena. Although, don't rule out the double hero power of survivability. You might throw Liren in there with a Serena, see what happens. It can surprise you. The double healer comp can work even with Liren, even though they're not top tier. But alright, that's been all for today's video. I hope you guys like this comparison. There will also be an article on hellhades.com to go along with this discussion. So if you do like writing or you want to reference some things later, feel free to check that out. But I'll see you guys in the next video.
Eternal Evolution. Play now for free.